Welcome back to Inspire AI, the show where we explore the ideas, innovations, and transformations shaping our intelligent future. I'm your host, Jason McGinty. Every week, we uncover how AI, technology, and human creativity are reshaping the way we live, work, and imagine what's next. Today, we're heading to a place you might not expect, a quiet corner of Northern Virginia that powers much of the internet, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence. It's the world's data center capital. But that title comes with a question. At what cost? Drive north of Washington, D.C. along Route 28, and you'll notice something strange. On the left, a massive dark blue box of steel and concrete. On the right, another one, gray, humming quietly behind the chain link fences. They stretch for miles across Loudoun County, Virginia. So many, they almost fade into the landscape. They're not shopping centers. They're not factories. They're data centers. The physical engines of the internet, the cloud, and now artificial intelligence. Every time you upload a photo, train a model, or ask an AI a question, a machine here in Virginia might be doing the work. And there's more of them here than anywhere else on Earth. So to understand how Virginia became the world's data center capital, we need to go back to the early internet, to a time when going online still meant tying up the family phone line, if you can remember it. In the 1990s, America Online, or AOL, set up shop here, just outside of DC. What started as a local company quickly became a national giant, connecting millions to the internet for the first time. You've got mail. Remember that? AOL's headquarters in Loudoun County transformed the area. It attracted engineers, cable installers, and most importantly, miles of fiber optic lines that would become the skeleton of the modern internet. So when the dot-com boom hit, Northern Virginia already had something no one else did: cheap land, high-speed connections, and a front row seat to the digital revolution. Then came the 2000s, the rise of cloud computing. Companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google needed places to store and serve data from huge, reliable, and connected facilities. In Virginia, with its low electricity costs, business-friendly laws, and legacy infrastructure, became the perfect fit. By 2006, Amazon had opened its first data center here. By 2012, local officials were proudly calling Loudoun County the cloud capital of the world. As one local economic official put it, everyone wants whatever information they have right now and from wherever they are. The only way to do that is to store it in the cloud. So let's fast forward to today. The same cloud has evolved, and it's hungry. Artificial intelligence requires data centers that are bigger, faster, and exponentially more power hungry than anything that came before. In Virginia alone, there are more than 6,000 megawatts of operating data centers, with thousands more under construction. To put that in perspective, one recent proposal in the small town of Remington would have required 800 megawatts, nearly as much as the entire state of Vermont's peak power use. That is tremendous. These facilities are massive. Some stretch over 2 million square feet, but they're oddly quiet, almost self-operating. A Harvard professor named Shane Greenstein jokes, "They're a very big building with a very small parking lot." Why is that, you ask? Because despite their scale, data centers don't employ many people. About 12,000 statewide, fewer than Virginia's school bus drivers. And yet, they've reshaped the state's economy and skyline. Amazon alone has poured over $35 billion into data centers across Virginia. Loudoun County now brings in $1 billion a year in local tax revenue from the industry. That's enough to fund a third of its entire county budget. But that money comes with a shadow. Dominion Energy, the state's largest utility, says data centers are the main reason electricity demand is skyrocketing, projected to rise from 17,000 megawatts to 26,000 by 2039. That means new power plants, new transmission lines, and inevitably higher costs. State regulators are already reviewing a proposal that could raise household bills by $21 a month by 2027. Chris Miller, president of the Piedmont Environmental Council, worries this growth is outpacing the state's ability to manage it. You got to own the fact that you're having a transformational impact, he says. Let's do a full cost of evaluation and make sure the net benefit is what you think it is. The environmental toll is hard to ignore. He's speaking about the environmental toll, which is hard to ignore. Farmland disappearing, water use for cooling, and growing carbon footprint that challenges Virginia's clean energy goals. There is a clear tension. On one hand, billions in investment, world-class infrastructure, and lower local taxes. On the other, rising bills, rising temperatures, and an uncertain future. Nan McCary, a longtime Loudoun County resident, sums it up simply. People are overwhelmingly unhappy about the pace of development. Period. And there's another question hovering over all of this. Is this growth sustainable or even wise? The AI boom has driven unprecedented investment, but some analysts warn of a bubble, one where companies spend billions on data infrastructure that may quickly become obsolete. And what happens if these concentrated hubs fail? Last year, an Amazon Web Services outage in its Virginia region disrupted websites and businesses across the internet. As one digital rights advocate put it, we urgently need diversification in cloud computing. We can probably conclude that Virginia's dominance is a strength and a risk. If the state's energy grid, land, or political climate can't sustain the growth, the backbone of the internet itself could start to wobble. Virginia didn't set out to become the world's data center capital. It happened because of a mix of luck, history, and policy. A place where the internet's early infrastructure met 21st century ambition, and it worked. The world runs on the cloud that lives here. But the cloud isn't weightless. It's grounded in the soil, powered by the grid, and shaped by choices about what kind of future we want to build. So as we stand at the dawn of the AI age, maybe the question isn't just how fast we can scale, but what we're willing to trade to keep the world online. Because every byte has a footprint. And the real challenge for Virginia and for all of us is making sure that the future we're building is one we can actually sustain. I'm Jason McGinty, and this has been another episode of Inspire AI.